What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You dead meat!
Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
The movie begins with red drops on a white background. Careful, you don't want to stain your title card. Damn it. The movie begins with another head in Patrick Bateman's fridge. Hope he buys those in bulk at Costco.
The movie begins in space! As a meteorite hurtles towards the town of Wheelsy, South Carolina. The movie begins with a photo booth filtered teaser trailer for the movie you're about to watch. Not weird enough for you? How about intestine credits, penis guitars, and a royalty-free He-Man that screams like a real monster?
The season begins in June 1984, placing this opening scene between seasons 1 and 2. The movie begins with a quick checkup on Cameron, Allison's unfaithful Dunaway who got ditched at the dance last movie. The movie begins with a syrupy studio name and the waveform of a handsome voice.
Mrs. French's cat is missing. The signs are posted all over town. Have you seen Honey? We've all seen the posters, but nobody has seen Honey the cat.
The movie begins by bringing back John Larroquette for his third narrated intro of the series.
In the summer of 1973, a few miles outside of Austin, Texas, 5 youths were attacked in a grisly and gruesome fashion by an unidentified madman.
Oh hell yeah, they also bringing back that flashbulb sound effect. We love it! The movie begins with a job interview, but Iris ain't getting the job. The movie begins with the title card. Yo, is that the bat signal back there? Ain't no Elfman music playing though. We get the Swan theme instead, from Tchaikovsky's famous ballet, Swan Lake. The movie begins in 1780 at the Transylvanian home of the Drac Man himself. He's hosting Prince Mamuwalde from the Abani tribe in Africa, or as Dracula calls it,
the dark continent.
The movie begins like the original, with a drone shot of Detroit. Makes me homesick. Too bad, just like with the original, only a few exteriors were shot on location. The movie begins with a blinky blacklight title card. Our main couple, Kate and John Coleman, enter a hospital looking like a Claritin commercial. The movie begins with a warning that this is based on a true story. Like with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's only partly true. I'll point out the true crime details later, but for now, how about that view? The movie begins with a Chi-Town chase. Detective Mike Norris tries to catch up to the Lakeshore Strangler Charles Lee Ray, but this is a mustard-only town, so the hot dog detective takes a shot that hits Ray right in the buttocks. The movie begins with an eyeball! Chucky's getting fixed up, so he'll look nice and proper for this movie's title card. Doll really needed it too. Been way more than 6 months since his last checkup. The movie begins with a 4x3 fake out before dollying out of a barn into a full 16x9 frame. This is a cold open showing we've got plenty of blood ahead, enough to make Sheriff Dentler blasphemize in the basement.
My God.
The movie begins with an 8-year late cleanup of Chucky's mess from Child's Play 2. Talk about procrastination. The movie begins with some disembodied hands leafing through an encyclopedia. Ah yes, lycanthropy, werewolf disease. The movie begins with Kurt Siodmak's werewolf poem from the original.
Even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolf's bane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
The movie begins in the kill count prop closet. Hey, Ben, could you please put that shit back in their bins? The movie begins with the sticky miracle of life. Congratulations, it's a healthy baby title card. The movie begins with a delivery truck on its way to a spooky house. The owner of this creepy abode is wine mom Sarah Pierce, who lives there with Nika, her paraplegic daughter. The movie begins with Andy Barkley getting cock-blocked by his past.
You Googled me.
Yeah, I did.
Fucking internet.
Man, Chucky ruined his life and his game. You'd think there'd be a dating app for final people by now.
The movie begins with a pain in my eye! Oh, it's redder than Jessica Rabbit's dress.
The series begins with a point of view shot, similar to the beginning of Seed of Chucky, which itself was a reference to the beginning of Halloween. The movie begins with tools and craftsmanship. Someone's building an extreme haunted house. They're making sure that string is tight and that the title has a card. The movie begins at Willy's Wonderland, where a couple wearing matching merch runs from an unseen assailant through Doctor Who hallways. The special begins with a universal horror spin on the classic MCU intro. An old-timey narrator takes us through the Marvel Nomicon and reveals that there be monsters in this universe, and monster hunters too. The movie begins with, oh, son of a Steven, a baseball game. Classic King. The movie begins on a misty November morning. At Walmart, a guy named Monty preps for Black Friday, though that font seems less holiday spirit and more spirit Halloween. The movie begins with a sloppy sapphic smoochin' sesh, and it lasts for over a minute, legit. Even got some crotch grabbing in there. The movie begins in 1993 at the Simeon Research Hospital. I believe it's their Gotham branch. The movie begins with a bilingual bedtime story.
SUPERCUT Biamupits ikimai. A long time ago, it is said, a monster came here.
The movie begins with amateur inventor Rand Peltzer singing REM.
That's me there on the corner.
That's him at the stoplight, hawking his contraptions. The movie begins with a Looney Tunes short, portending that this about to be a silly one. That's a title card, folks. And that's stock footage from Superman 4: The Quest for Peace? Okay, sure. Whatever tells us we're out of Kingston Falls and in the Big Apple now. The movie begins with a phone call. Oh man, someone dialed title card! Woodsboro High School student Casey Becker answers the phone to a velvety, sexy voice. The movie begins like the first one, with a 90s actress about to watch a scary movie. The movie begins in Hollywood. Ooh, looks like the bowl's letting out. The movie begins with a quote. That's, Edgar Allan Poe, right? Oh, nope, Ronald Reagan. That makes more sense. The movie begins, like always, with a phone call. While this landline is retro, Sherry and Trudy are modern teens who watch modern horror movies.
We're gonna go scary. Saw 4.
Ugh, I saw that in theaters. It sucks. It's not scary, it's gross. I hate all that torture porn shit.
The movie begins, all together now, with a phone call. The famous face picking it up this time is Jenna Ortega playing Tara Carpenter, named after Halloween creator John. The movie begins with animal cruelty, a monkey being forced to watch cable news. Eco-terrorists break into primate Jigsaw's lair to liberate chimp kind from the outrage feedback loop.